Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Tori Silas. I am the chair of the Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration, and I call our September board meeting to order at 3 p.m. Next, we have here in the room Rahul G. And I apologize that I didn't want to mispronounce your last name, so I just went with the first initial. What's your last name, please?
It's Garabadu.
Garabadu, just
Yes.
as it's spelled.
Good afternoon. My name is Rahul Garabadu, and I'm the voting rights staff attorney at the ACLU of Georgia. I also happen to have grown up right here in Cobb County. Almost exactly 30 years ago, my parents moved to Cobb County, and they've been here ever since. I grew up here. I'm a proud product of the Cobb County school system, and I voted in this county. Cobb County is always a place that I'll consider home. I'm here today to urge this board to reverse its decision to move the Cooper 1 polling place from Cooper Middle School to the Cobb County Police Academy. And that's for three main reasons. One, using the police academy as a polling place may deter voters, especially voters of color, from casting a ballot. Two, it may violate federal law. And three, it will needlessly confuse voters during a time when a lot of changes to our election rules are happening. Now, our office sent a letter to the board this morning that goes through these reasons in detail, but I also wanted to speak about them briefly. Now, first, using the police academy as a polling place will deter voters of color from casting a ballot. Now, Cooper 1 currently serves a community that's majority black. And as we all know, it wasn't too long ago that black voters were subject to harassment, abuse, and even beatings at the hands of law enforcement simply because they were trying to exercise their fundamental right to vote. And that's not just a far-flung historical occurrence. It's something that's within living memory for many folks in this community. Now, add in the racial reckoning that this country is in the middle of right now when it comes to police interactions with black Americans, and you start to understand why it might be hard as a black voter or a voter of color to go into a police academy to cast a ballot, even if a majority of police officers do their work in an upstanding, non-discriminatory way. Now, second, using the police academy as a polling location may violate federal law. Under Section 11B of the Voting Rights Act of 1965, it is unlawful to intimidate, threaten, or coerce any person from voting or attempting to vote. And it doesn't matter what the intent of the perpetrator is. Federal courts have said that, and so has Congress. A violation can be established without any showing that there was an intent to intimidate a voter. Now, using a police academy as a polling location could intimidate voters, and it might run afoul of Section 11B of the Voting Rights Act. Now, finally, using the police academy as a polling place starting next year might needlessly confuse voters. As you well know, there are a lot of election administrations that are coming through the pipeline in the next year or so. We have Georgia's new election law, SB 202, as well as redistricting changes that are set to go into effect soon. Now, just one of these changes would be enough to deal with, but we have two. And many of these changes that will come with SB 202 and redistricting affect this issue directly. Now, for example, SB 202 has new restrictions that apply to voters who go to a precinct they weren't assigned to, even if it's in the same county that they live in. So having a polling place change effective in 2022, it can have real consequences for many voters who are used to voting at Cooper Middle School. Why make things even more confusing for voters when we're looking at an election cycle that will see so many changes to begin with? For these reasons, we ask that this board reverse its decision to use the Cobb County Police Academy as a polling location. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for your comments.